Okay, good morning, and we're in the 26th verse of chapter, I want to say 57 or 58. 57. Okay. And just to catch you up, they've just had captured a city with loads of prisoners, so a large portion of their army had to march. The Nephite army had to march these prisoners down to Zarahemla, and which is what they did with all their prisoners, it seemed, on this side. And as they were doing that, a large army of Lamanites came in and attacked them in the city of Gid, I believe. Is it the city of Gid? I think it is. Somewhere anyway, and they had a big battle, and as it says there, that all of the 2,060 stripling warriors were all injured, but none of them died. And now it's talking about them, the stripling warriors. And now their preservation was astonishing to our whole army, that they should be spared while there was 1,000 of our brethren who were slain. And we do justly ascribe it to the miraculous power of God, because of their exceeding faith in that which they had been taught to believe, that there was a just God, whosoever did not doubt that they should be preserved by his marvelous power. Now this was the faith of those whom I have spoken. They are young, and their minds are firm, and they do put their trust in God continually. And I think that's the point of these scriptures, pulling it together to show us what happened to those young men, that we can understand what faith can do. Now it came to pass that after we had thus taken our wounded men, and had buried our dead, and also the dead of the Lamanites, who were many, behold, we did inquire of Gid concerning the prisoners whom they had started to go down to the land of Zarahemla. I guess it wasn't the city of Gid, it was the chief captain over the band. Like it says here, now Gid was the chief captain over the band, whom was appointed to guard them down to the land. Now these are the words which Gid said unto me, behold, we did start down to go down to the land of Zarahemla with our prisoners, and it came to pass that we did meet the spies of our armies, who had been sent to watch the camp of the Lamanites. And they cried unto us, saying, behold, the armies of the Lamanites are marching towards the city of Cumeni. That's where they are. It's Cumeni, not the city of Gid. Silly me. Behold, they will fall upon them, yea, and will destroy our people. And it came to pass that our prisoners did hear their cries, which caused them to take courage, and they did rise up in rebellion against us. And it came to pass that because of their rebellion, we did cause that our swords should come upon them. And it came to pass that they did in a body run upon our swords, in the which the greater number of them were slain. Unfortunately, it sounds like the greater number of them were slain. These people, they gave up, but then they just kept fighting. They just would not stop fighting. They must have known that they had the numbers with them, but they didn't seem to mind dying, because they kept breaking out. And the remainder of them broke through and fled from us. I mean, if you think about it, 2,000 had died before this. That must have been a huge army. Maybe 10,000, because Nephites have had 10,000 at different times. But This must have been a lot of people. Behold, when they had fled, we could not overtake them, we took our march with speed towards the city of Cumeni. And behold, we did arrive in time that we might assist our brethren in preserving the city. Behold, we are again delivered out of the hands of our enemies, and blessed is the name of God. For behold, it is He that has delivered us, and that has done this great thing for us. Now it came to pass when Helaman had heard these words of Gid, I was filled with exceeding joy because of the goodness of God in preserving us, that we might not all perish. Yea, and I trust that the souls of them who have been slain have entered into the rest of their God. Notice all the pink stuff is the things that I think we should take away from these chapters especially. Now behold, it came to pass that our next object was to obtain the city of Manti, but behold, there was no way that we could lead them out of the city by our small bands. For behold, they remembered that which we had hitherto done. Therefore we could not decoy them out away from their strongholds. And they were so much more numerous than was our army that we durst not go forth and attack them in their strongholds. And it came to pass, and it became expedient that we should deploy our men to maintaining those parts of the land which we had regained of our possessions. Therefore it became expedient that we should wait that we might receive more strength from Zarahemla, and also a new supply of provisions. And it came to pass that I did send an embassy to the governor of our land, and acquaint him concerning the affairs of the people. And it came to pass that we did wait and to receive provisions and strength from the land of Zarahemla. But behold, this did profit us but little, for the Lamanites were also receiving great strength from day to day, and also many provisions. And thus were our circumstances at this period of time, and the Lamanites were sallying forth against us from time to time, resolving by stratagem to destroy us. Nevertheless, we could not come to battle with them because of their retreats and strongholds. And it came to pass that we did wait in these difficult circumstances for the space of many months, even until we were about to perish for want of food. And it came to pass that we did receive food, which was guarded to us by an army of 2,000 men to our assistance. And this was all the assistance which we did receive to defend our country from falling into the hands of our enemies, yea, to contend with an enemy which was innumerable. Remember, every time they take a city, they have to divide their men. So at one time they had 10,000 men. I think they got more after that, but that 10,000 in one city is great, but then you have to split it to 5,000, and then, further to 3,000 or whatever, And now the cause of these embarrassments, or the cause that they did not send more strength unto us, we know not. Therefore we were grieved, and also filled with fear, lest by any means the judgments of God should come upon our land to overthrow and utter destruction. So they are seeing this as maybe something's really wrong. Maybe something has happened, and we need to turn to God and see what it is. Notice they say the judgments of God, but they're not saying a vindictive God. They're just saying the judgments of God, because for some reason something has happened that was wrong. So what they do is they do what we should do. Therefore we did pour out our souls in prayer to God, that He would strengthen us and deliver us out of the hands of our enemies. Yea, and also give us strength that we might retain our cities and our lands and our possessions for the support of our people. So remember, they're concentrating on what their job is. Yea, and it came to pass that the Lord our God did visit us with assurances that he would deliver us, insomuch that he did speak peace to our souls, and did grant unto us great faith, and did cause us that we should hope for our deliverance in him. Notice, our deliverance in him, not our deliverance because Moroni would solve it or something. It says deliverance in him. And we did take courage with our small force which we had received, and were fixed with a determination to conquer our enemies, and to maintain the lands of our possession, and our wives and our children, and the cause of liberty. They keep mentioning it again, the same thing, the title of liberty, always mentioned here. And thus we did go forth with all our might against the Lamanites who were in the city of Manti, and we did pitch our tents by the wilderness side, which was near the city. Now it came to pass that on the morrow, when the Lamanites saw that we were in the borders of the wilderness, which was near the city, that they sent their spies round about us, that they might discover the number and the strength of our army. And it came to pass, when they saw that we were not strong according to our numbers, and fearing that we should cut them off from their support, except they should come out to battle against us and kill us, and also supposing that they could easily destroy us with their numerous hosts, therefore they began to make preparations to come out against us to battle. Now it's important that you see that they couldn't be coaxed out any other way by sending a supply team by or an army walking by, but this they remember. Some of those might have been the soldiers from Kimini that, if you remember, they had their supplies taken, and they were starving before they were had to give up, and they don't want to do that again. They'd rather fight. And when they saw that we were making preparations, when we saw that they were making preparations to come out against us, behold, I caused that Gid, with a small number of men, should secret himself in the wilderness, and also Tiamner and a small number of men should secret themselves also in the wilderness. And now Gid and his men were on the right, and the others on the left. And when they had thus secreted themselves, behold, I remained with the remainder of my army in the same place where we had first pitched our tents, against the time that the Lamanites should come out to battle. And it came to pass that the Lamanites did come out with their numerous army against us, and when they had come and were about to fall upon us with the sword, I caused that my men those who were with me, should retreat in the wilderness. And it came to pass the Lamanites did follow after us with great speed, for they were exceedingly desirous to overtake us, that they might slay us. Therefore they did follow us into the wilderness. And we did pass by in the midst of Gid and Tiamner, insomuch that they were not discovered by the Lamanites. And it came to pass that when the Lamanites had passed by, or when the army had passed by, Gid and Tiamner did rise up from their secret places, and did cut off the spies of the Lamanites, that they should not return to the city. And it came to pass that when they had cut them off, they ran to the city, and fell upon the guards who were left to guard the city, insomuch that they did destroy them, and did take possession of the city. Now this was done because the Lamanites did suffer their whole army, save a few guards only, to be led away into the wilderness. I'm sure they're not the brightest guards. If it's like, yeah, you stay here. You've had one too many cookies. I'd rather go and fight them with these guys that are bloodthirsty and want to fight. And it came to pass that Gid and Tiamnar by this means had obtained possession of their strongholds. And it came to pass that we took our course, after having travelled much in the wilderness towards the land of Zarahemla. And when the Lamanites saw that we were marching, now I think this is where they learned something, because the first time they tried the strategy of leading away an army, and then the army of Antipas came up behind them. Seemed like a good strategy, but this time they don't have the manpower, for one thing, and another thing, just leading them towards Zarahemla would say, "Oh, this is going to be an ambush. We're gonna have a bigger army in front of us if we keep marching this way." I also find it interesting. It's a bit precarious because at this point there's been dissensions in which we'll find out about in the government, and the king's men has risen up, and they're talking with Ammon about maintaining Zarahemla. So luckily, these guys didn't know that the land of Zarahemla was under that sort of problem yet, because this could have really backfired. And when the Lamanites saw that they were marching toward the land of Zarahemla, they were exceedingly afraid lest a plan was laid to lead them on to destruction. Therefore, they began to retreat into the wilderness. Again, yea, even back the same way which they had come. And behold, it was night, and they did pitch their tents, for the chief captains of the Lamanites had supposed that the Nephites were worried because of their march, and supposing they had driven their whole army, therefore they took no thought concerning the city of Manti. Now it came to pass that when it was night, I caused that my men should not sleep, but that they should march forward by another way towards the land of Manti. And because of this our march in the night time, behold, on the morrow we were beyond the Lamanites, insomuch that we did arrive before them at the city of Manti. Thus it came to pass that by this stratagem we did take possession of the city of Manti without the shedding of blood. And it came to pass that when the armies of the Lamanites did arrive near the city, and saw that we were prepared to meet them, they were astonished exceedingly, and struck with great fear, insomuch that they did flee into the wilderness. Yea, and it came to pass that the armies of the Lamanites did flee out of all this quarter of the land. Behold, they have carried with them many women and children out of the land. And those cities which had been taken by the Lamanites, all of them are at this period of time in our possession. Now our fathers and our women and our children are returning to their homes, all save it be those who have been taken prisoners and carried off by the Lamanites. But behold, our armies are small to maintain so great a number of cities and so great possessions. But behold, we trust our God, who has given us victory over those lands, insomuch that we have obtained those cities and those lands which were our own. Now we do not know the cause that the government does not grant us more strength, neither do these men who came up unto us know why we have not received greater strength. Behold, we do not know, but ye are unsuccessful, and ye have drawn away the forces into that quarter of the land. If so, we do not desire to murmur. I love the way his attitude here. He's saying it is bad, but if you're having it hard there, we don't want to complain. And if it's not so, behold, we fear that there is some faction in the government, which is what it is, that they do not send more men to our assistance. for we know that they are more numerous than that which they have sent. But behold, it mattereth not. We trust God will deliver us, notwithstanding the weakness of our armies, and deliver us out of the hands of our enemies. Isn't that a great statement right there? We trust God to deliver us, notwithstanding our own weaknesses. He will deliver us out of the hands of our enemies. I think that's something that we can take from this very much in our own lives. Now behold, this is the 29th year of the latter end, in the latter end. So we're catching up to, because this letter was sent in the 30th year, and we are in possession of our lands, and the Lamanites have fled to the land of Nephi. And those sons of the people of Ammon, of whom I have highly spoken, are with me in the city of Manti, and the Lord has supported them, yea, and kept them from falling by the sword, insomuch that that even one soul has not been slain. But behold, they have received many wounds. We're coming right back to where we started. Remember, when I started reading this morning, we talked about they had all received many wounds. Nevertheless, they stand fast in the liberty wherewith God has made them free, and they are strict to remember the Lord their God from day to day. Yea, they do observe to keep his statutes and his judgments and his commandments continually, and their faith is strong in the prophecies concerning that which is to come. That verse right there sums up what this whole letter is about. And now, my beloved brother Moroni, may the Lord our God, who has redeemed us and made us free, keep you continually in his presence, yea, and may he favor this people, even that ye may have success in obtaining the possession of all that which the Lamanites have taken from us, which was for our support. And now, behold, I close mine epistle. I am Helaman, the son of Alma. What a great place to end. And again, like I said, we need to stand fast in the liberty of our God, and always remember that God will deliver you, notwithstanding our weaknesses. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And